Hello and welcome back to Level. Today we're going to explore an essential aspect of IT management, device reboots. And we're going to cover two scenarios. The first is scheduling a reboot for later, and the second is initiating an immediate reboot but with user approval. So let's dive in and see how we can accomplish this with Level. All right, so let's start with creating a new automation. I'm going to call this maintenance reboot tonight. And what we want to do is define a scheduled trigger. And this scheduled trigger is going to run every day. So let's go ahead and build that out. And then pick your time. So I think I'm going to do 10 p.m., but you can choose whatever works for your environment. And once we have that configured, the next step is to limit this. We don't want this to run on all devices at 10 p.m. every day, but just on devices that have a specific tag. So let's create a new tag and call this Reboot tonight. All right. So now we have a trigger that's going to run every night at 10 p.m. across all devices that have the Reboot Tonight tag applied. Next, let's figure out what actions we want to run. The most obvious here is going to be a restart action. So let's go ahead and do that. And next, we want to remove that tag so that the device doesn't reboot again the next night. So let's do that. Okay, so there we have it. We have a pipeline, and anytime I add the Reboot Tonight tag to a device at 10 p.m. every night, this pipeline is going to run and it's going to grab all devices that have that tag. It's going to restart them and then remove that tag. It's that straightforward. So now let's cover the other scenario where you want to do this immediately but involve the user. So let's create another automation. I'm going to call this maintenance ask user to reboot. So we're involving the user. In this case, we want to do a tag applied trigger. Let's again create a new tag. Let's call this reboot. And in this case, we do want it to run on all devices that have this tag applied. And this is going to run immediately. So when the reboot tag is applied to a device, it's going to run this pipeline. So the first action we want to do is ask the user for approval. So this allows us to prompt the user with some type of question. In this case, I'm just going to say, your computer needs to be rebooted to finish installing updates. Is now a good time? I'm fine with prompting every hour. And let's allow them to delay this up to 3 times. And then we're going to forcefully push past this action. All right. So now we have a user approval action. We give this a name. Okay. Now let's actually do the restart. And then last, let's remove that tag. Okay. So we want to remove the reboot tag. All right. So now we have a pipeline. Anytime a device is tagged with reboot, it's going to immediately run this pipeline, ask the user for approval. Once they approve, it's going to restart and then remove that tag. Let's try this out. We'll apply the reboot tag here. Jump over to that automation. And we can see there's the device in that pipeline. And we've just prompted the user. So let's go ahead and remote control and just see what that end user sees. There we go. So here's their prompt. Your computer needs to be rebooted. We hit delay. We'll immediately see the user's delayed the action. And that's pretty much it. There you have it. There's 2 great ways to handle reboots without breaking a sweat. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and give these reboot tricks a spin.